Yo, what's going on? We back at it. You see the hat? I didn't say too much yesterday. Been running around all day. Listen, when you win, you don't really have to say a whole lot. You don't really have to talk a lot. The results speak for themselves, right? Eagles Ravens last yesterday. Primetime game 425 in Bodymore. We went down there, took their hearts, stomped them out, and then went back up the turnpike. And maybe we had a cheesesteak, maybe some guys wanted ice cream, whatever, man. You get ice cream when you win. When you don't win, you don't get ice cream. You look at what we were able to do to that team. There was the battle of the birds. Everybody was saying, hey, Lamar Jackson, the MVP of the league so far, in some people's eyes. The other people say it's Josh Allen. Some people say it's Saquon Barkley. You know, whether you're an Eagles fan or not, it's kind of undeniable what he's doing right now. And I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the game and everything. Look, I we look at shaved head Sirianni and what they've been able to do since he shaved the head, and we've been undefeated ever since. We were 2-2 when that happened, I believe, and now we're 10-2. And the one thing that we've been yelling and screaming for them to do is to run the ball. You have, in my opinion, one of the best lines in football. It's between the Eagles and the Lions. In my opinion, they have the best offensive line. Obviously, the Ravens are doing their thing with King Henry and whatnot, but we're gonna get to that. But the run game, getting to the run game, knowing who you are, knowing what your identity is, and sticking to that. And I was listening to the radio earlier today, and one of the hosts made a very, very good point. You can do this, that, and the third, and talk all you want, but at the end of the day, a lot of teams when they get down 9-0 in that game on the road versus a very, very tough Ravens team, they would immediately put the football in Jalen Hurts' hands or whoever the quarterback is for the team and said, "Yo, go win us the game." Kellen Moore came out and said, "You know what? We're down 9-0. Whatever. We run the ball. This is what we do. We're going to stay on schedule, just like a good train conductor, and we're going to run the ball down their throats until they, acquiesce. And eventually, we wore their asses down. And then on the defensive side, come on, bro. I'm going to use my fantasy football team as an example here. At the beginning of the year, we drafted a bunch of players, and wouldn't you know, Saquon Barkley was one that people passed up on. King Henry, another one people passed up on. And then the Eagles defense. When I drafted the Eagles defense, I guess higher than people would have, anticipated, maybe in round 11, people laughed at me. People laughed at me. I'm not going to say no names, but you know who you are. Ryan, if you're in here, you know exactly who I'm talking about. They said, Eagles defense, you're crazy. I'm like, okay. You see the defensive line. Jalen Carter, game wrecker, can't be stopped. They tried to double team him all game. Didn't make a difference. He's in the backfield chasing down Lamar Jackson. Chasing down Lamar Jackson. Think about that. 300-pound defensive tackle just wrecking the game. And then you have the rest of these boys stepping up. You have Jalen Hunt, I think the third-round pick this year. And then you have Josh Sweat. He had 1 or 2 sacks. And then Jordan Davis messing up things at the line of scrimmage, making Derrick Henry have to change directions before he can get ahead of steam. And then the linebackers, Zach Bond, playing at a Pro Bowl level. None of us foresaw that. Let's be honest. None of us saw that happening. I mean, before the season. Now, once game 1 happened, it was clear that there was a reason why he was starting over Devin White. And now we see why, man. This guy's everywhere. He flies around. He's always around the football. And then you talk about the instincts, knowing where you need to be and using the proper leverage when you're going for tackles. Vic Fangio, over that bye week, and I guess leading up into it as they're gelling together, he got those guys to start taking proper angles when they're going for their tackles. So when they're going for their tackle, let's say you have Derrick Henry running outside of the tackle towards the sideline, trying to get the edge. The defender is going to go to his outside shoulder and force him in. No, gone are the days where guys are losing outside contain on some silly stuff, like we saw with what's dude's name? Um, I think for the Commanders, it might have been the Commanders. Uh, it was number 28 for some team. Oh, against the Steelers. Against the Steelers. Who the Steelers just play? Whatever. End of the game, you have what, third and short, and you have Justin Fields in there. Everybody in the stadium knows he's probably going to keep the ball. Keep an eye on Justin Fields. And what do they not do? Keep an eye on Justin Fields. In 28, he was a rookie. Silly mistakes. We don't make those silly mistakes anymore, which is refreshing, very much so. So guys are where they're supposed to be at, and you just have a team that knows what they're trying to do and they stay on time with everything. Jalen Hurts was 11 for 13 passing or something like that. He didn't, or 11 for 16, whatever. He didn't have a lot of passing attempts. Only had 100 yards and some change, and I think maybe he had a passing touchdown. But his QB rating was 93, and all he had to do was hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley and not turn the ball over against a very, very tough Ravens team. Even when they're not playing their best, they're always pretty disciplined. This year, maybe not so much. They've been like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. One week they look like they're going to the Super Bowl, and the next week they look like they forgot how to play football. But nonetheless, they're very skilled. So to be able to keep the game close, especially when you're down 9-0, come back into the game, get a lead, and keep that lead at home, bro. Listen, we saw the end score, but they really only scored 12 points. They shut Lamar Jackson and that historic offense down. And the battle between King Henry and Saquon Barkley, it was pretty even, pretty neck and neck through halftime, going into the third quarter. But as we got further into the second half, you started to see a separation. And that hit that Cooper DeJean put on Derrick Henry sent a statement. The birds are here. We're not going nowhere. That defense is for real. Saquon Barkley, conversely, went off in the fourth quarter, as he's been doing all year, and broke 100 yards again. So, I mean, listen, this is a very, 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 very good Eagles team. I'm happy that they're finally sticking to the run. They're doing the outcomes they're getting are a result of doing the simple things that are obvious to everybody. And I don't think Nick Sirianni is a great coach, but I also don't think that he should be getting overly praised either. Give him his just due for making the proper adjustments, but don't overly praise him because, in my opinion, this is what he should have been doing from the get-go, instead of being stubborn and hard-headed. These are some of the things I pointed out last year. You can go and look up some of my YouTube shorts. I was pointing out the stubbornness and the hard-headedness with not running the ball, with not having pre-snap motion. And you have more of both of those things, not just this year, but in the past, I would say 6 to 8 weeks. You have more pre-snap motion. You have more commitment to the run. Now, in the passing game, they, in my opinion, they have to get a little bit more diverse in the way they're attacking these teams. The high-low concept is the bread and butter, as it is with the Ravens, but that's not going to be good enough against some of the better defense. You can get away with sticking with high-low concepts and really leaning on the RPO against some of these average to mid defenses, but against guys like the Lions, even though they're injured, not necessarily going to cut it. So are there little tweaks you can make to get better? Sure. But in general, I mean, just a great adjustment down the stretch. So to end this off, the Eagles are the only team that cannot fall below the 2 seed from here on out. Just looking at first things first, or whatever, with Nick Wright and Broussard and all them, the Eagles are in a great position right now at 10-2. Maybe they get to 13-4. Maybe if they get to 14-3, they might get the 1 seed. Because the Lions, they're injured on defense. Aiden Hutchinson going for the season. They lost a couple other pieces. They're getting dinged up, and their schedule's tough. whereas we play Pittsburgh 2 weeks from now. But beyond that, we have the Commanders, who hopefully I expect us to humble again, and then we have the Cowgirls, who are just a dumpster fire, and then the Giants, whatever you want to call them. That was a sarcastic call. And then the Carolina Panthers, who are better than they were before with Bryce Young, but still a team that the Eagles should beat. So listen, we're in a great spot to make things happen, and we'll see what we do next week leading up into this Pittsburgh Steelers game. But that's my thoughts on the Eagles. Let me know what you guys think. I don't see the comments right now because I'm on my phone on Facebook Live, but I'll check them when I'm done. And quick side note, my Raiders almost took down the Chiefs. I don't know how they keep winning. I don't know if it's scripted or what the case is, but they beat us by what, 1 point, and that was with O'Connell. I mean, the mustache is out for the year, like he's gone. So with all the injuries and the trades and the turmoil, I like some of the things I'm seeing. Get some of the young players time to play and see what they're about as you get ready for next year. We knew what this year was going to be. That's why I didn't really cover them that close. But I just need people to take care of business when they're playing the Chiefs instead of like having these Looney Tune-esque gaffes at the end of the game, blocked field goals, all this dumb stuff. They should have like 2 or 3 more losses. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, everybody and their mothers are saying the Eagles were not tested. The Eagles are frauds. They're only beating bad teams. This is the same narrative every freaking year. Who have they beat? People get so wrapped up in the opponent instead of just looking at what's in front of them. If you look at what's in front of you, it doesn't matter who the opponent is. If you're playing at a high level, you're going to have a great game against ass teams, and you're going to have competitive games against teams that are on your level because you're a good team. Okay, you don't need another great team to be the barometer for that. It's certainly a litmus test down the line, but use your damn eyes. You can see what's in front of you. I saw that this defensive line was going to be phenomenal in the offseason. I knew that both sides, offense and defense, were going to be phenomenal this year. Anybody that could not see that just had biased lens on. And I'm reading the comment here. What's up, cuz? Appreciate you coming in here. Steph says they don't respect us. When we do beat formidable opponents, they come up with excuses for them rather than give us our props. Shaking my head. Facts. And you know what? When I'm gonna go through my Facebook log and I'm gonna look up 2017 because I had 2 Cowgirls fans. One that's near and dear to me, and another one that from around town, talking mad junk, talking mad trash, talking about how the Eagles didn't beat nobody. Oh, you guys stomped out the Broncos and blah blah blah. Jay Ajayi and Alshon Jeffries and Carson Wentz. They just ran over a team that had a great defense, but they can't score. So I'm like, okay. I point out the flaws and why I thought they were wrong, and I just never got a chance to clip them up at the end of the year. But I'm gonna do that because sometimes when people get smart, especially in this day and age, it's time to start holding people accountable. Put them up on that wall of shame, shine that plaque up real nice so the rest of the world can see, just so people learn to think about the things they say before running their mouths, right? Because back in the day, you had to be accountable for the things you said. You couldn't just say things and not have any reason or rationale behind it. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts on the game. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you on the next one.